everybody, to the 5th episode of RaulyKnows. Today we have a very special guest. Well, we have special guests, but sitting right next to me we have Danielle Olson.
Hello, everyone.
And we both met at UNLV in accounting.
Yes, accounting.
And today we're going to talk about how, what do we go to school for?
Well, thank you for having me first, Raul.
No problem.
Happy to be here. But yeah, we met in accounting, won the first math class that we took, and I feel like we both had no idea what was going on.
Pretty
so
much.
we kind of stuck together and was just trying to figure our way out through the hotel college. So, yeah.
Definitely. So, being that we're hospitality majors or alumni now.
Yes, go
so
Rebs.
Congratulations.
You too.
We both went to UNLV for hospitality, and we both live in Las Vegas, which is one of the meccas of hospitality. And being that we studied and we're going into the field of hospitality, what have you done so far as hospitality? What's your experience?
So I basically started hospitality because I'm born and raised in Vegas. So I always say in all my interviews, it's just kind of in my blood. It's something that I've always been
That's your
surrounded
go-to.
with. It's my go-to, straight answer. I mean, it's an easy one. My grandma worked at the Flamingo for her entire life. My dad, you're familiar with PT's, right?
Yeah.
Works with
PT
that
is
company.
my favorite bar.
Yeah, it's a cool local bar, and they've grown immensely since my dad started with them. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get into it because it's what my city is all about. And so my dad one day was just well, why don't you think about hospitality? UNLV is probably the best school for you or for hospitality to study. So started at UNLV, a hospitality major since day one, and then now that I'm alumni, I do not regret a single thing. I've talked about with you and even some of our other classmates, just the experience that you get at UNLV is probably one of the best, and the networking and the connections they're invaluable. So definitely
great.
love the school for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I love what I do as well. I would love to say that I'm born and raised here, but I was born somewhere else. But I was raised here, definitely.
Yeah.
But being that we're in the hospitality industry, how much has it affected you with what's going on right now? The pandemic.
In a pretty big way. I did an internship last summer in LA with Marriott, which was amazing. And then after that, I had the opportunity to do it was a post-grad kind of management and training program where I spend a year at a Marriott property and kind of how I did with my internship, go through different departments and kind of experience and sit down with managers and see what it's like to be in that role. And it kind of sets you up for your career probably in the best way. And I credit a lot of that to UNLV because you can't graduate without an internship. So
Yeah,
it really kicked my butt into really starting to figure out what I wanted to do. So yeah, at the end of last summer, I secured that job to start in January. And so I started January. I love that. So I started in January out in LA. I was working at the JW in Ritz-Carlton right behind the Staples Center. And it was amazing. It was exactly what I was looking for as far as property. I wanted to work luxury and JW, Ritz-Carlton. That's pretty last summer I was working at Courtyard Residence Inn, so I saw it across the street and I was that would be dope to work there. And then so I got the opportunity, and then 2.5 months later, your girl's on furlough. She's laid off, which was definitely unexpected. My friend and I always joke when you study 4 years to get a degree in hospitality, that's tanked. And then you graduate 4 years and then you get laid off.
I know, right?
But
it's definitely a really weird time right now. But
yeah.
Being that I've been in the same job that, I'm in right now, I kind of needed it.
Yeah, no.
I needed the little
even
vacation.
throughout school, you were working crazy hours.
Yeah.
I didn't know how you were doing it, man.
I didn't know either, but, it had to get done. I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
I already complained enough. But, being that, this whole unemployment thing and having the whole pandemic and having to be quarantined and stuff like that, there's been a lot of talk everywhere, social media, especially in the hospitality industry itself. There's a lot of people, conspiracies that are coming up saying that coronavirus does not exist, which I don't agree. And at first, I wasn't really that big into like oh, is it real? Until like I met somebody or I know somebody that had it. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, it is real. Like this is not.
I don't know how you could argue that it's not.
I know. No, I wasn't saying it wasn't, but like.
No, I know there's people out there that always want to.
Yeah. So with that being said, today we have a special guest joining us from Phoenix, Arizona. Her name is Melissa Calles, right? You go by that name now?
Yeah, always.
Okay, so everybody welcome Melissa.
Hello. Oh, man. Hello. Okay. Hi, Raul. Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. And for what it's worth, just hanging in there. Thank you for asking me to be on the podcast. I know when you had first asked me, I was like, sure, let's do it. And then you tell me because you want me to talk about the coronavirus.
We'll have another one in the future, but.
No. I was just like, shoot, I can't say no now. No, it's totally fine. I'm actually unfortunately, I'm one of the lucky ones that got diagnosed or tested positive for it. And it's definitely been a wild ride, to say the least. Today, I'm actually on day 23 of self-quarantine and still like being in my room, isolated, trying to get through it and stuff. And it's been tough.
Well, first of all, we're happy that you're recovering.
Yeah,
correct?
You seem in good health. So
I'm definitely on the end of it. It's already like on its way out and stuff. I feel great and everything, but it wasn't like that like the whole time. So
is it because of coronavirus? Your voice is all raspy, or what is it?
Oh. I was actually blessed with this beautiful voice.
No, it's just a joke. It's an ongoing joke.
It's an ongoing joke always. Yeah, he'll be like, "What the heck, you're a girl?" Or like, I'll have phone interviews like for a job or something, and then I'll tell my siblings or him, I'll be like, "Oh, they want to meet me in person," and they're like, "Oh my God," they're gonna be like, "What the heck, you're a girl?"
I love raspy voices, Rocket.
So
thank you.
We're glad you joined us and that you're in good spirits, and hopefully, not hopefully, we see that you're in good health and you're in the road to recovery. But being that we're speaking on the topic of coronavirus, how do you feel like you got exposed to it? Like, did you I don't know. Like, well, how did you do it? How did you do it? Like, how did it happen?
It was totally on purpose and it was planned. Here's the crazy part though. So I was going to work and everything was fine, right? Taking like the necessary precautions, but like everybody just, you never think it's going to be you. It's just like, it's there, but it's not there. But my sister comes home one day and we had been hanging out all week. We had, we were watching movies, eating hot dogs, sharing a fork and stuff. That was like a Thursday or like a Wednesday or something. And then come Friday, she tells me that on Sunday, she had a cookout with her boyfriend's family, and one of their nephews had tested positive for it. She's like, "Sister, I hung out with you pretty much all week. I just think you should get tested just to be safe." I didn't think much of it. I was like, how about you get tested? And then when you get your results back, if you're negative, then I know I'm good. Right. Or if you're positive, then I'll go get tested and stuff. And she was like, it would just make me feel, I mean, she's a health professional. She's in that field. So she was like, it would make me feel a whole lot better if you just go get tested with me and we just, get it done with. Because for her, and especially because I still live at home with my parents and my brother, and, it's just, to be safe. So I was like, fine. I went. She came back negative. I came back positive. So we were like, what? Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely didn't get it from her nephew, boyfriend's nephew. That just opened up the possibilities of where the heck did I get it from? Right. Now, to prevent my parents from getting it, I was the one getting the groceries, running the errands, filling up their gas tanks, doing all of that. So, and I was still going to work at my job. Like I hadn't worked from home until I tested positive for it. So it could have been anywhere. Like your guess is just as good as mine. I don't know. It just so happened that, unfortunately, I tested positive for it. And then 4 or 5 days passed and I was asymptomatic, or so I thought, meaning, I was fine. Mm-hmm. Called my work, told them I tested positive. I could still work from home. They brought me all my equipment. I was like, well, 14 days, got to let it pass by and I'll be great. On the 5th day, through like towards like the end, I started having difficulty breathing.
Oh no.
And I already have like
But you
bad
had
anxiety
knew
and
that you were tested for positive already at this point?
yeah. I was already positive. I was keeping my distance. Nobody was coming near me or anything. I just thought I was asymptomatic, meaning I was gonna start and finish with no symptoms, and it was just gonna like whatever.
So you knew you were like, oh, this.
Because I'm sorry, I'm so ignorant. Asymptomatic means no symptoms.
Yeah, you're not showing any symptoms or anything like that. Meaning you still have it. So the biggest danger that I thought my biggest concern was not giving it to anybody else, because I thought it was just not gonna affect me personally. But no. So on the 5th day, I'm just hanging out and stuff. Actually, it doesn't matter. But I was just hanging out and stuff, and in my room, and I started feeling like kind of like hot, and I was like, well, the AC's still running. So I turned the fan on, and I was like, I just can't breathe. Like I feel like, I don't know, I just can't breathe. So I opened the window, still couldn't breathe. And then I started kind of like, not hyperventilating, but it doesn't matter how much I was gasping, I wasn't getting enough air. And I was like, shit, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can cuss or not.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, shit, like this is it. Like I started having shortness of breath. I was like, okay, calm down. If this is the worst, it's fine. I used my inhaler. That was Sunday, like mid-Sunday. By Monday morning, I woke up and it was as if I had just ran, you guys, like a mile or two.
Wow.
Like, you know, when you run and you like have to put your hands over your head and you just cannot breathe. It was like that. And I was like, what in the world? I got up to go to the bathroom and I got lightheaded because it was just bad. So, oh, definitely. So what my mom started doing is we started this steam treatment. And she was boiling like a pot with water and orange peels and lemon peels, I think it was. And she was bringing it to me, well, by the door because we weren't having contact. And basically I would put it right in front of me with the towel over my head and just inhale all the steam for a good 10, 15 minutes. It did wonders for my pores, by the way, because we were doing it. No, you haven't noticed?
You're glowing.
No. Thank you. No. Definitely, like, I was doing that on the hour, every hour for like a week and a half. I had to, because after the 10, 15 minutes, I was able to like take a deep breath in, like inhale, and then 40 minutes later, I started the shortness of breath again. So I had to do it again every hour. When I was sleeping, I had to sleep sometimes sitting up because laying down, I just couldn't catch my breath. Then I had to lay down on my front. It was horrible. And then I had like mild fever, the phlegm, the coughing. The only thing I was in contact with my doctor, and basically he just said, as long as my symptoms don't worsen and my fever doesn't go up, because it was a mild fever, it was nothing crazy. So he was just like, as long as that doesn't get any higher, then you're good to stay home, but definitely go to the ER if anything worsens. And I was still adamant about going to the hospital because it's just scary, like at least here I was alone. I was, but my family was around and my mom was kind of, helping me and giving me somewhat of attention, keeping her distance. But yeah, it was definitely scary. I still consider myself very fortunate because it didn't get as bad as it has for other people. But I wouldn't want anybody, I definitely don't want to go through this ever again. And I don't want anybody ever to have to go through
real.
that.
You would confirm, right? The coronavirus isn't a conspiracy.
I think so. I would put money on it. I think I would put money on it.
Do they like give you any medicine or like any kind of medication at all, or?
Well, my doctor told me to keep using the inhaler, and he told me, Tylenol and everything for like the headache. Oh, because I did have an ongoing headache that wasn't going away and stuff. But other than that, really, it's just feeding your body the right nutrients, vitamins, drinking lots of water, and just letting it fight the virus,
Because that's what I was curious. Like, do they just kind of tell you to like ride it out, essentially?
Well, for the most part, that's what I had been hearing, because when I got tested, they gave me this little pamphlet of like, well, when you get the results back, if by any chance you're positive, this is what you need to do. Take your temperature, make sure you don't have a fever, drink lots of water, get lots of rest, and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, treat it like the common cold, I guess. But in the sense where if my breathing would have gone even worse, where I felt like a fish underwater, but like times 1,000, then definitely seek, the ambulance or, go to the ER and stuff.
Well, thank you so much for sharing what you went through and stuff. And I'm
Man.
sorry that
I really.
that I have to, like, not use you as an example, but I just want people to know it's very real. It's horrible, and we should still practice social distancing and be safe when it comes to, like, going out and stuff. Okay, so this is my question to you, Melissa.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now that with all these protests that are going on, is it gonna spike up?
I don't know. It would be crazy if it didn't, because there's been so many people and just so like in such a like small, spaces and stuff. It's also outside, and everybody's got their own posters. It's not like people are sharing bathrooms and sharing all of that stuff, which is, one of the main ways it can, be transmitted and stuff. But I definitely think it's going to spike up for sure. I mean, how can it not with all that many people around?
Right.
I mean, definitely people should keep wearing the mask, wearing the gloves, and just trying to avoid it and stuff. I'm all for the protests. I am here for it. I love it. It kind of hurts me that I can't be out there, protesting as well. But it also scares me because it was already scary as it is here in Arizona, with the hospitals and stuff like that, and maybe running out of equipment or, and then this happened. It's just the timing has just been awful, I think, for all of this. But yeah, that does scare me. I think, and you're not exposing me or using me or anything like that. I don't mind sharing this. Anybody that's asked me or has noticed that my snaps, I haven't been out or something, I just straight up tell them like, no, I got, I tested positive. And I mean, I feel like that's the only way people actually like, I feel like that's the only way they actually like register, like when they know someone that has it, that's when they're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Do you think I should get tested, Melissa? Do you think, like Raul was saying the same thing when I told him, he was like, oh, what? And it's so funny because so many people have told me, you told me this, you're the first person I know that has it.
Because I feel like there's like in it, like kind of a shame, maybe people think.
Yeah,
like,
I think
yeah, they're like, oh, but like you said, like people think it's so far from them because they don't know someone personally that it doesn't really like connect that like, oh shit, like this is a real thing. and
it's not something to be embarrassed about. Like I said, I did nothing to expose myself to it. Or I mean, I was still out and about, so it was bound to happen, or it's not a surprise that it happened. Mm-hmm. I just want everybody else to be more careful and to really, really, really take care of themselves and protect themselves. Not just for us, because we're if anything, we're young and we're a little bit more resilient to this, but for our parents. Right. I would go through this for another 2 months if that guaranteed me my parents won't ever, So if half the time our generation has to, really, well, for the most part, generation has to make sure they're considering that be careful, not for you, but for the older folks, because that's who really has to worry about this affecting them in like the long run and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. Do you have anything in the works right now? I know you're, I hate to out you, but I know you're working on your first stand-up. What's going on with that?
Oh, my God. God, you're putting me on the spot really bad.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? What it is that she's too scared to do it, but she's freaking hilarious. And she has the, she has the charisma, and I
believe it. She got that raspy voice. I would listen to that.
See what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, she's been writing her jokes, and they're really, really good.
I've sent him a couple of bits. I've sent you probably like 6 or 7 of my bits, and he laughs at them, and I feel like, okay, that's good.
I'm not just saying that to be nice to you, because I could say mean shit, and you won't get offended. So like,
no.
I think so. So what's going on? What you plan on doing that in the future, or what?
I feel like now that I moved back to Arizona, honestly, now that I moved back, kind of a fresh start. I need to not be scared of anything anymore. I'm like, I feel like the one thing I devoted myself to failed. So now I shouldn't be scared of anything else. I need to do open mics. I need to start doing stand-up. When I found out he was doing the stand-up, I right away like reached out to him and I'm like, dude, I'm living through you. I'm like, Raul, you're living my dream. I'm like, I want to do stand-up, but I'm just so scared. I'm not funny. Because I think feel like I think I'm the dude. I'm the funniest person I know, but that's me. That's me.
No, definitely. I really think that you should go for it. And what's going to happen? You're going to fail? What? So what? Like people are gonna
you
fail.
with Corona, you could do it.
I don't think you're gonna fail
Exactly.
because
there you go. You can do anything.
yeah, like that should be the least of your worry. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I hope you go through with it. I hope you get healthy, and
Thank you.
I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you so much for joining the RaulyKnows podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
this
and
fun.
we'll have you again on the show, and we'll speak about other things. So,
all right.
Thank you so
Sounds
much for
good.
joining us again, and have a great day.
It was nice meeting you.
It's very nice meeting you, Danielle. Good luck, and hopefully everything gets situated with your job soon too.
Thank you. Everybody say bye.
Bye, guys. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well,
That was awesome.
that was great.
She's sweet.
Yeah. So coronavirus is real. So
real, y'all.
and yeah, that's what's going on. And I know you heard. I'm sorry. I know you told me earlier that you used to work at the internship was in LA, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You met your boyfriend there, right?
I did. It
Okay,
was
what's your boyfriend's name?
His name's David.
So people won't be in the comments
DJ
trying to
Mills.
claim you.
I'm spoken for, but yeah. So we met. It was kind of like crazy because, I'm from Vegas. Like I have family in LA, but I really had no other reason to kind of pick LA.
Where's he from?
It's kind of complicated. He was born in Atlanta.
Okay.
Kind of born and raised in Atlanta. Then he kind of moved around a little bit. Spent some time in Boston.
You sounded so country when you said, "Kind of moved around."
Kind of moved around a little bit. But then I believe he kind of went. It's complicated. He's like.
Is he from
everywhere.
Boston?
No, not from Boston.
Don't tell me he's from Boston.
Why is that?
I fucking hate Boston.
Yo,
the Celtics. Fuck the Celtics.
Oh,
Sorry.
shoot. Freaking Guillermo. Where he at?
Yeah.
Guillermo. But he kind of grew up middle school, high school in Long Island, New York. And then and then he went to college out in Albany, New York.
Oh, okay,
so kind
cool.
of more New York.
He's New York. He's from New York.
He's from New York.
It's
yeah.
mad brick out, B.
Yeah, exactly.
And so shout out to you.
Yeah.
I'll meet you one day, I'm sure.
No, he's a good guy. I'm trying to get him to come out here.
So he doesn't live. Okay. Oh, so
right now he's in North Carolina. So that's why he's like all over the place.
Is he like stationed or something or what?
No, his mom lives in North Carolina.
I see.
Yeah, so he's out there currently. He somehow ended up in LA too for his internship. So we both worked at the same hotel last summer. And then, it was cute. We were interns together, and then we started hanging out outside of work. And, so we were both in LA. And then when our internship ended, we were kind of like, well, we still want to be with each other. And so we started doing long distance.
How do you feel about long
ever
distance?
since. I don't mind it. I mean, I love being with him. So,
so obviously, if it's worth it, like, you'd be able to do it. But, like...
my entire, life, or, my dating life, I was like, oh, I'll never do long distance. It doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like, I don't know, I've talked to people who have been in long distance relationships. They're married and have been in long distance relationships. So I think if you can make it work and you're dedicated to making it work, then it can. So.
Yeah, see, I have, a little story. I kind of want to say too much because it's kind of old, but kind of, it's relevant to what you just said. I used to think the same way. I would never do long distance, but when I was in high school, I was dating this girl, and I met her at the wrong time. Definitely. Well,
that's always what it is.
But I mean,
right person, wrong time.
Technically, no. I met her at the right time because then,
everything happens for a reason.
I have my girlfriend now, and then she's perfect for me.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. I love you, Tyler. So if you're hearing this, but
couple goals.
But at the time, I was so into this girl, and it was around that time where we're about to graduate. We're seniors. And she was really good at soccer, so she got a scholarship in Florida. So she ended up she was telling me from the jump. She was like, "Hey, look, I'm going to Florida. I don't want anything serious." So I was like, "Yeah, cool. Cool." You know what I mean? So
did you have the intention of staying together
when
she left?
No. Oh, when she left. Okay, so I didn't know you were gonna say that. So
I'm about to dig
in the beginning, it was I wanted to be with her, right? And when she told me I can't because of I don't want to get my heart broken. We're gonna leave. It's not gonna work out.
Especially a long distance relationship, coast to coast, because that's what we deal with too. 3-hour time difference. It's work. But
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, definitely work. But I tried making it work with this girl, and she told me straight up hey, look, like, no, like, let's not. I don't want to do anything like relationship wise with you. So I got kind of crushed, yeah, and especially because I don't get rejected. Because come on, look at me. nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, she kind of rejected me, and then as soon as like 2 weeks into her being in Florida, she started calling me like, "Hey, let's make it work." Like I miss you, all this da. And at the time, I was just like, man, like it's not how it works. Like I told you, I was willing to,
Either were you with it or you ain't.
Yeah, so like once the ship sailed, it sailed. But I mean, yeah, that's my experience when it comes to long distance relationships.
That's tough too with like, because I was even talking about this with my friend, like high school relationships that move into college and that go long distance. It's tricky. Especially that time in your life is also very like you're getting to know yourself, like going from like the transition from high school to college, like you change so much in like those years. So
definitely. So being that long distance relationships, did he okay, so you moved from Albany, right? From college or whatever?
Yeah, so after our internship ended, he moved back to Albany and he had his whole senior year. And then I finished December. So I had one more semester left of college. So I had to come back to Vegas to finish out college. And then I moved back to LA for my job back in downtown Los Angeles. So then we were doing LA, New York for a while. And like we would visit each other. Like I know in my senior semester, I went out there in October. I also went out there in November. And then he came and visited me for New Year's. So we still saw each other a lot. And I think that's also important too when you're in a long distance relationship is to try to like commit to seeing each other, making time. I mean, because, honestly, being in a long distance in the 20th century, what are we, 21st?
21st. I don't know.
It's a lot easier because you have, like, FaceTime. You have Skype. I can see him essentially whenever I want. I just, like, pick up my phone. But also making time to see each other physically is also really important. And then I feel like also we have this end goal because he was supposed to move out to California. Now we're pre-corona, we were supposed to be out in California at this time, but we both had the end goal of also being in the same space, so that kind of also helped with long distance, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So did he like LA when he was out there? I know he's
yeah,
that's
he
very
liked it.
different.
He was supposed to go out to Santa Barbara, but I love LA is freaking dope.
You were there when I hate to say it, I'm probably gonna cry saying this, but you were there when Kobe died, right?
Yeah, that was really
rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, especially just seeing, because I was also in LA last summer when Nipsey Hussle died.
Oh wow!
And just seeing like the way the city came together, that was insane. And then this year, I was working like the property that I'm working at is right. Like I go out the back doors, I'm in the Staples Center Plaza.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I could only imagine how many people were there.
Yeah, like the day I found out, I worked a PM shift, so I was like at the mall in the morning, and like I get a text from my boyfriend, and he like sent me like a news article screenshot, and he was just like, I can't believe it, and I was like, I read it, and I was like, that's insane.
That's
like
crazy.
Even though like I don't really follow like basketball,
but you know who Kobe Bryant is.
Everyone knows who Kobe Bryant is. Everyone knows like who he is and like how great he was. Yeah, so like I opened that text and it was crazy, and then I kind of park a little bit of ways from the hotel that I work at, and like as I'm walking, I'm just seeing like hundreds of people like walking around with their jerseys on, like tears in their eyes, and
it was.
It was insane. Yeah, like I can't imagine. And then like why I went in a little bit earlier just because I just wanted to see what the plaza looked like, and so like I went into the plaza and there's already like. All the signage says like in loving memory, and like there's just like huge crowds of people outside, and they're all chanting like Kobe, Kobe, and like the memorial's out, and it was insane. Like the city was hurting, and you could feel it. Like you could like just feel it everywhere you went.
And not only just in LA, like there was everywhere. Like they had memorials for him in Vegas, they had memorials for him in New York and Boston, like everywhere. Like a lot of people loved Kobe Bryant, and it just sucks the way that he passed because
tragic.
It was very tragic.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the ones that were
Rest in peace, yeah.
like in the incident, and it just sucks to me because like his daughter died with him, like his very
my
young
heart
daughter.
goes out to Vanessa. Like,
Yeah, so
that is just, I can't imagine like losing like the love of your life and like your daughter.
yeah, that's crazy, and it's just crazy. Like so many people, he's affected so many people's lives just by making them happy by playing basketball and just giving them a mentality. Because he definitely had a really like interesting mentality. He wrote books and he had commercials and his mementos and everything that he said like kind of resonated with people that were trying to do something. And if they were great, like there was
like not even basketball, just like
artists,
life.
Artist life.
Yeah.
He got an Oscar for filmmaking. Like he was very involved and inspired many people. And what I saw just like from his passing was that like many cultures got together, like so many cultures got together. There's mariachis on the plaza singing Mexican music because the Lakers are a big part of the Mexican culture. Like we grew up with any winning team. Like it was a dynasty. Like the Lakers were always champions. So I'm pretty sure like
y'all can't see this, but he got Lakers
yeah,
Lakers everywhere
so
in his room.
Yeah, so definitely a big Laker fan here, and yeah, my heart goes out to all the people that were affected on that.
Yeah, it's definitely. It was just a very somber feeling, like watching everything that was happening. And I remember even I was at work and I'm like at the front desk, like watching the entire thing that's happening in the Staples Center, like right behind me. And it's sad. It's just a sad, sad thing. Like 2020 has not been kind.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Especially like now that they're just like, the only thing that it's kind with is like the new shows on Netflix. Have you been watching anything, by the way?
I mean, like I'm a documentary buff. I love watching documentaries right now. Big one right now, Epstein. I went into this deep dark rabbit hole with this guy.
Okay, so if people don't know who Epstein is, who is he?
Okay, so how do you even describe him? So his name's Jeffrey Epstein. He was kind of like a hedge fund kind of. He knew a lot of wealthy people, managed their money, like Les Wexler, the guy who owns like L Brands, which is like Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, all this stuff. He knew like big name people like Bill Clinton and just like Harvey Weinstein, and not a good guy to know. Like he just always surrounded himself with very influential, political, powerful people. And basically he was just like a sick pedophile and like lured girls, like underage girls, like girls that he knew were, 16, 17, as young as like 12, I think was like the youngest. And he would just solicit them for prostitution, and he targeted, like he would groom these girls. Like
Is that all that in the documentary?
All of it's in the documentary. I highly suggest you watch it. It's a really good documentary for sure. And there's like tons of YouTube videos on it as well. Like I remember like following the case kind of before his big trial, because he was arrested and put in jail in like 06, 07 in Florida, when he was convicted of bringing like, I think it was like 40 girls at that time that he actually like knew that he was bringing them.
So he got caught?
Oh, he got caught. He got caught in like more than 15 years ago. He got caught, and he'd been doing this for years, like prior to that. So he would like bring these girls to like his mansion in Florida, and that's where he got arrested and put in prison or put in jail. And he would just bring them in and say like, oh, like just give me a massage, I'll give you like $200. And in that massage, like he would ask them to get naked, he would touch them, and like he also had this, it was like his right hand gal, Ghislaine Maxwell, and she would kind of do the same thing. And that's the sick part for me too, is because like as a woman, like I just wouldn't think like she was basically procuring these young teenage girls for him. And just sick. But yeah, so he got arrested in 2006, 2007, I can't remember. He got an 18-month sentence, only spent 13 months of that sentence in prison.
He knew people.
He knows like crazy people. Only spent 13 months, and like he was on a work release. So of that 13 months, he would spend 6 out of the 7 days in a week out.
Oh, so he would just have to check into jail.
Barely in jail. They
do that to basketball players and stuff like that.
Yeah, so barely in jail. And then he continued to do these things. Like, had a sex island pretty much, like where he would fly girls out on this plane that he called the Lolita Express. And like Lolita is like, it's a book, I think, I don't know when it was written, but it's about like an older man who was like obsessed with like this 12-year-old girl. So it's just like,
he calls it that?
How did we not know this? Like,
yeah.
who is not checking him? But yeah, so he would like fly girls out to like this island, have sex with them, rape them, like cover it as like their masseuses, and they give massages, but like had powerful ass people. Like Bill Clinton went to this sex island. Like I think like it's documented like at
surprised.
least like 10 times. Yeah. Like I don't think Harvey Weinstein went, but Bill Clinton was definitely like seen on that island with underage girls, naked,
wow,
groping, like just nasty stuff. And then like they talk about it in the documentary as well. So when the whole Me Too movement came about, he kind of resurfaced again, and people kind of spoke out like, you know, this guy is doing this to hundreds of underage girls, like raping them, like grooming them, like just nasty stuff. And
I'm interested now. I gotta watch it.
It's
heard
a deep dark rabbit hole.
So where is he at now? Like,
so he was, once the whole Me Too movement, he came back from like Europe, I think, and so he was finally got arrested, and then he was supposed to go on trial, but while he was being held at a prison in, I think it was New York, he killed himself.
Oh.
Killed himself.
So he got whacked.
He got whacked. Because he knows, I didn't mention Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, a fucking royalty family. Like,
wow.
And there's this crazy interview of Prince Andrew, like, because once, like, it came out that Epstein had all these charges against him and all these allegations, like, people were like, oh, now I don't know him. But they wanted to spend years of being his friend up until he got kind of, like, caught.
Wow.
And so
they knew that he did that kind of stuff, but they wouldn't say anything.
There's no
or
way
they were
they
involved.
didn't know.
They knew.
They, like...
Bill Clinton knew.
Yeah, attended parties where there's a picture of Prince Andrew and one of the victims who's spoken out about this. Like, and she was like, Prince Andrew raped me like 6 times.
Wow.
Like, there's like no denying it at this point. And I feel like you're a high profile person in jail. I think he tried to commit suicide like 2 days prior to him actually doing it. And so he was like on suicide watch. And somehow he kills himself, and no one saw, and none of the cameras were pointing there, and the guards had fallen asleep.
What the fuck?
Like this, it's just so, I think that's why I get so interested in it, because like, it's just like how...
It's a conspiracy. Imagine all the information that they probably kept,
that's
or
what
like
I'm saying.
Nothing's out yet.
If he would have went to trial...
He would have probably outed everybody out.
Yeah, exposed the freaking prince, like... Bill Clinton, like, he knew powerful people, like, he could not
Didn't
have
he hang
gone
out
to
with
trial.
Donald Trump, too?
Donald Trump. Yeah, and then Donald Trump is like, because I guess, like, Epstein had sexually assaulted one of his workers at Mar-a-Lago, but he was like, I'm not friends with him. But Trump has even quoted saying something like, yeah, Epstein, great guy, very charming, is known to hang around young women. And, like, that didn't age well at all.
Wow.
But yeah, just it's definitely worth the watch. It's only 4 episodes. Like the documentaries on Netflix. They're really pulling through. But it's definitely one to check out for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now I'm interested in that. That's all I'm thinking. Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. But like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah. No, I would. It's a dark hole, but it's just like what was like freaking the cat one. You just like watching it and you're just like
Tiger King?
Yeah. That one.
I enjoyed
that
it.
one, and then there's also the one that's like don't fuck with cats. And you're just watching it and you're just like, what the
Yeah, don't fuck with cats. I've heard of it, but I've never gone to it. But okay, so don't fuck with cats is like, so from what I know, and I could be mixing up information, but from what I remember is that like this lady that hacks computers.
No, so that lady's actually from Vegas, but she was, I guess it's like this Facebook page or whatever, and there was just like this thing circulating on the internet of this guy who was kind of like, he would post videos of himself like fucking with cats. Like he would like put them in like a vacuum cleaner and like basically killing them. And then moral of the story, like that guy ended up killing someone. And then they like, they solved this whole murder case of this Asian man because like that lady and like all these other people on the internet were trying to like put pieces together of like, who is this guy? Why is he fucking with cats? And then turns out he ended up like literally chopping someone up and killing them.
Okay.
Netflix is really finding like the cream of the crop in the world and just exposing them.
So that's what you've been doing, just watching like documentaries, obviously other things as well. But what do you got? What do you got working for yourself? As in, like, you're gonna go back to work when all these things settles down?
Yeah. So I have a lot of hope that it's hope, but I also know that the hospitality industry is gonna bounce back.
Definitely.
Like,
it already did.
Yeah, it already did. Like, we're in Vegas, we see it. Like, people are going out to eat. Like, you see people in the casinos. Like, people want to travel. So I have no doubt in my mind that, it's going to bounce back from this. I think there's going to be a lot of new processes and ways that we have to do things. Like, I know Marriott's just put out how they're going to have, like, plexiglass, and they're like sanitizing all the high traffic areas. So it's like, that's the way that we have to be now, but it's a good way to kind of get people to feel more comfortable about going out to travel, because they want to. People want to travel for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years when it comes to your career?
I would like to, the basis of why I really went into hospitality was to travel. So,
you just want to move around, or?
Yeah, I thought about, I definitely would like to stay with Marriott and see, like, what career I could build with them, because it's a great company, and, like, they're all over the world. This has become a platform for why I love Marriott. But, yeah, I want to kind of expand my career in hospitality, definitely in management. I graduated with concentration meetings and events, so I kind of want to, it'd be interesting to see what the world of meetings and events will look like in the future with the whole social distancing and all of that. But yeah, just basically learn all that I can, be a sponge, as my general manager said. It's probably the best advice that I've ever gotten. But yeah, travel more, learn more, and eat. Eat,
definitely. Yeah. So being that, we're on the topic of eating, I guess now. So, from when I first met you, I remember I made fun of you a little bit because you were like a vegan, right? Are you a vegan still or vegetarian?
No. I was, I think when we met, I might have been pescatarian at the time.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, so I still ate, when I started like my whole, I don't want to eat meat anymore, I started pescatarian, so I still ate fish. And
that's right.
Yeah, so I think I was pescatarian for a year, and I think it kind of just, I think one day I was just thinking about like my dog, and I was like, I love my dog so much. Like, I just couldn't see myself like, I love animals, and I don't want to eat them, I guess. So yeah, I think that kind of was what started my whole, I don't want to eat meat anymore, but I think I wanted to go into it slow, because I had tried in the past to cut out meat and stuff, and I think it was so cold turkey with it that it was like so hard. Like, veganism, hard as hell. I don't know how people do that. I'm still not there yet. One day, hopefully, I can be.
Where are you at right now?
Right now, I am a vegetarian, a lacto-ovo vegetarian. So I still eat dairy, and I still eat eggs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not as bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But, okay, so being that you're a lacto-ovo.
It's like the fancy term.
Lacto. You eat eggs and fucking dairy.
I eat eggs and milk. Yeah, I like yogurt.
Being that that's like, your thing, what are the best places or your favorite places to eat in Vegas?
Okay.
Since we're in the hospitality world, speak a little bit about it.
Well, there's this place like right near UNLV. I think it's Veganation, or I can't remember.
Veganation is downtown.
Okay. There's another one that has like Veggie in the name that's right near UNLV.
Damn.
I can't remember the name.
Modern
of it.
Vegan?
Ooh, yeah, that might be it.
Yeah,
it's like right, like Thomas and Mack is right here, and then it's right there. Modern Vegan. I think that's what it is. They're pretty good. Veganation's really good. I honestly haven't been to a lot of like that niche. This is only vegan. Yeah. Because
you're one of those people that go to a restaurant and just make it fucking hard for us, huh?
No. Low key. Okay, so I went to Park on Fremont the other day for my birthday, and I didn't realize that they didn't have like a full, I went on Yelp and they were like, there's a vegan menu, so I was like, lit, all right, we're gonna go here.
But they didn't have the kitchen wasn't serving it, right?
I think I think they might have had like a collapsed menu because they didn't have like everything. But yeah, so they didn't have anything, so I ended up getting a pastrami sandwich with no pastrami.
pastrami.
So
You're fucking kidding me, bro.
I basically had a grilled cheese with sauerkraut.
Oh my god.
But it was delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I love.
I mean, if you enjoyed it, so
Yeah,
what?
it wasn't bad.
Honestly, if anything, that order it sounds annoying, but if you think about it, like the cook was probably like, oh, I don't have to warm up the pastrami. So.
I mean, I feel like I'm not like super picky because most places you go, you can find a vegetarian item on the menu. But do you get that a lot where you're just like,
no,
they don't want
we get
meat?
that a lot. We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Being that I cook, my profession is to cook French food.
Yeah.
And fine dining, so French use butter for fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like we cook the vegetables in butter, like they're covered in butter or beef fat, bacon fat, duck fat, like all this other shit. Like we use a lot of fucking bad. Like it's not good for you. French food is not good for you.
But it's so good.
It's so good. But that's what makes it so good. But yeah, I mean, like we'll have everything prepped up, and then in the middle of fucking the shits, like we get like we have a vegan. Like,
yeah. See, that's what I try not to be like. Because I try not to be that annoying person that's like, I can't eat
no, I
it.
get it. People
I'll
gotta
literally
eat,
pick
but
off
dude, if you're a
pepperoni
vegan,
off
don't eat at a French restaurant, bro.
Yeah, just know your place.
Yeah.
Know your place.
Know your fucking place.
Sit down. I'm just like, there's.
No, we
we live in like a time where there's full blown vegan restaurants. So
no, you know
got
what?
options,
You know what?
tell
You know,
me.
I'm in the form of hospitality. We will, accommodate
cater
the
to you.
guest.
Yeah. Put people first.
But yeah.
Go eat at a vegan restaurant.
So that's where I'm at with that, man. I honestly.
Would you ever consider it?
Well, you know what? Just
Meatless Monday.
I could probably. I just don't want to.
I feel it.
I could do it.
Sometimes I miss it.
I could definitely do it because if I could do keto, like the willpower of
Are you doing keto?
No, I'm not anymore. But
Oh.
I was at one point, but that's a different. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took
I know
a
a
lot
lot of people that have done it and they lost crazy weight.
No, I did.
So
I did.
It's cool.
I went I probably went 2 months out of being at graduation, and I dropped 35 pounds.
That's crazy.
But you can't really see it because it was all core. It was like core and you like water weight and all this other stuff. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, I don't want to talk about the keto. I don't want to talk about keto.
I know it's very complex. So yeah,
definitely. So thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Danielle Olson.
This is pretty awesome.
Where can they find you, or you want to promote something?
Sure. Follow me on Instagram, Danielle Olson with 2 N's in Danielle, Olson, Olson.
Like the Mary-Kate and Ashley.
They spell it with the E-N.
Ooh.
But I used to tell people in grade school that I was related to them.
Oh wow. They probably couldn't see it.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny.
Right. No, but they couldn't see the difference between Olson and Olson.
Yeah. Nah. People don't mind.
That's cool. So
Yeah,
follow her on
follow me
Instagram.
I don't really have much else to
I'll put
come out to LA when I come back.
Oh yeah, okay.
Visit me at my hotel.
And so thank you so much for tuning in to episode 5 of RaulyKnows podcast. Would like to thank Danielle Olson once again and Melissa Calles. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.